Still driving after 70? 6 safety checks you must do every time you start the car. Have you ever gotten into your car, turned the key, and thought, I've been doing this my whole life, I know what I'm doing? If you have, you're not alone. Driving becomes second nature after decades on the road. It's like brushing your teeth, you just do it. But as we get older, even the most familiar routines need a second look. Not because we've lost our ability, but because our bodies and even the world around us have changed more than we might realize. Let's face it, the roads are faster, the cars are more high-tech, and let's not even talk about those new traffic patterns that seem to pop up every week. But here's the good news. You don't have to give up your keys just because you've passed a certain birthday. In fact, with a few smart and simple safety checks, you can stay confident behind the wheel, protect your independence, and drive with peace of mind. In this video, we're going to talk about 6 essential safety checks every senior driver should do every single time you start the car. These are not just car-related things, they're personal, physical, and mental checks too. And they can make the difference between a smooth ride and a risky one. So grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's start with the very first check. One that begins even before you put the key in the ignition. The first thing to check is you. That might sound strange, but checking in with yourself before you drive is just as important as checking your mirrors or tires. Ask yourself, how do I feel right now? Am I well rested? Clear-headed? Have I taken any medication that might affect my focus or reaction time? You see, one of the most overlooked dangers on the road isn't the traffic. It's drowsy or distracted driving. And as we age, our bodies process things like sleep, medication, and even food differently. That cold medicine that used to just clear your sinuses might now make you drowsy. That new prescription for blood pressure might come with side effects like dizziness or slower reflexes. So take a moment before starting the car to do a quick self-check. Stand up straight, take a few deep breaths, and really listen to your body. If you're feeling foggy, lightheaded, or just not yourself, maybe today's not the day to drive. And that's okay. Giving yourself that pause is a sign of strength, not weakness. Now, once you've checked in with yourself, the next thing is your vision. No matter how good you were at spotting license plates from a mile away when you were 30, things can change. Even if you wear glasses or have had cataract surgery, our eyes take longer to adjust to changes in light and can be more sensitive to glare, especially during sunrise or sunset. Before driving, take a few seconds to check your glasses. Are they clean? Smudges or dust can blur your vision more than you think. If you wear transition lenses that darken in the sun, make sure you know how they react in your car because many windshields block the UV rays that activate them. Sometimes that means you'll still need a pair of sunglasses handy to cut down on glare. And here's something most people forget. Check your windows and mirrors. Not just the position, but the cleanliness. A dusty windshield or a foggy side mirror can turn a safe drive into a risky one, especially if sunlight hits it just right. Keep a microfiber cloth in your glove box and give your mirrors and dashboard a quick wipe before you set off. Takes less than a minute and can make a world of difference. Let's move on to something that may surprise you, your seat position. Most of us find a comfy spot and leave it there for years. But here's the thing, our bodies change. Hips get stiffer, backs need more support, and we might not sit the same way we used to. That old seat setting may no longer be the safest or most comfortable for your current posture. Take a moment to adjust your seat so you can easily reach the pedals without stretching and see clearly over the dashboard without craning your neck. Your knees should be slightly bent when pressing the pedals, and your arms should have a gentle bend when holding the wheel. If you feel like you're sitting on the car instead of in it, or if the steering wheel feels too far away or too close, that's your cue to readjust. Also, check the headrest. It's not just there for comfort, it's for safety. The top of the headrest should be level with the top of your head, and just a few inches behind it. In a sudden stop, that small adjustment can help prevent whiplash. You see, these little checks aren't about overcomplicating things. They're about staying one step ahead. It's not that you're not capable, far from it. It's about recognizing that with age comes wisdom, and wise drivers don't take anything for granted. So let's pause for a moment and reflect. When was the last time you actually adjusted your seat since buying your car, or cleaned your mirrors with intention before heading out? These small habits, done regularly, can give you a fresh perspective and a safer experience every time you drive. Now that we've covered how important it is to check in with yourself, your vision, and your seating position, it's time to look at something that can truly make or break your ability to respond quickly on the road, your footwear. Let's talk about that next. Let's talk about something we often overlook. What's on your feet? That's right, your shoes. It might sound a little funny at first, but the shoes you wear can have a big impact on how safely you drive. Think about it, your feet are the only connection between you and the pedals. And if that connection isn't solid, it can slow your reaction time or even cause you to hit the wrong pedal. If you're wearing shoes that are too loose, like old slippers or sandals, your foot might slip off the brake when you least expect it. On the other hand, thick-soled shoes or heavy boots can make it harder to feel how much pressure you're applying to the gas or brake. And those stylish backless slip-ons? They can get caught on the edge of a mat or twist at the wrong time. The safest option? Lightweight, comfortable shoes with a good grip and a snug fit. Something that makes you feel connected to the pedals, not floating above them. Keep a driving pair in the car if you prefer to wear something more casual or cozy when you're out and about. It's such a small switch, but it could make all the difference when every second counts. And speaking of seconds counting, let's talk about your dashboard. Not the car's. It's more about your own personal mental dashboard. You know how cars have those warning lights? The little symbols that pop up when something needs attention? Well, our minds and bodies give us warning signs too, if we're paying attention. Before you drive, take a quiet moment to check in with your mental state. Are you focused, calm, or are you feeling rushed, frustrated, maybe even emotional from a conversation you just had? It's easy to hop in the car with your thoughts racing and your emotions stirred up, but driving in that state can be just as risky as driving tired. You might find your patience runs shorter, or you miss things in your mirrors because your mind is somewhere else. So give yourself that gentle pause. Even just 30 seconds of slow breathing can bring you back into the moment and center your attention on the road ahead. Now let's move to something more technical, but don't worry, it's still simple and doable. Your mirrors and blind spots. As we age, our range of motion naturally changes. Turning your head quickly to check a blind spot might not feel as easy as it once did. That's okay. It's not a weakness, it's just a cue to adapt your habits. When you get in the car, take a few extra seconds to adjust all three mirrors, the rear view and both sides. Make sure the side mirrors are angled in a way that reduces your blind spots. You should barely see the side of your car in them. That gives you a wider view of the lane beside you. And here's a tip. Try this while parked in your driveway. Sit in your usual position and have someone slowly walk around your car. Watch how and when they appear in your mirrors. You might be surprised at the areas you can't see as well as you thought. It's a powerful exercise that only takes 5 minutes, but it can change how you approach lane changes and intersections forever. If you do find that your neck or shoulders limit your head-turning ability, don't ignore it, work with it. You might consider adding small stick-on blind spot mirrors to your side mirrors. They're inexpensive and easy to install, but they can give you extra peace of mind. Another habit worth building is doing a quick walk around of your car before you hop in, especially if it's been parked on the street or in a crowded lot. It's not just about the tires or looking for scratches. It's about making sure there's nothing in your path. A forgotten shopping cart, a low post, a bike someone left nearby. It takes just a few seconds to check, but it can save you from damage or a scare. And while we're thinking about awareness, let's not forget about distractions inside the car. Phones, radio volume, clutter on the dashboard. They can all pull your attention away at the worst possible moment. Before you start the engine, silence the phone or set it to Do Not Disturb. If you need it for navigation, set your destination before you move. Keep the volume low enough that you can still hear what's happening outside, especially if an emergency vehicle is approaching or if someone's trying to get your attention. You've been driving long enough to know that things happen fast out there. And your greatest strength as a senior driver isn't just experience. It's your wisdom, that ability to think ahead, prepare, and make small adjustments that keep you safe. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. What matters most is that you feel confident and in control every time you take the wheel. These safety checks we're talking about aren't about being afraid. They're about being empowered. You've earned your independence, and with just a few simple habits, you can protect it and enjoy it for many more years to come. Now, let's talk about something that might not be as obvious, but plays a huge role in keeping you sharp and responsive behind the wheel. How you position your hands on the steering wheel. Let's get into that next. Let's talk about your hands on the wheel. Now, you've probably been hearing 10 and 2 since the day you first learned to drive, right? That used to be the golden rule. But driving experts today actually recommend a different hand position, especially in modern cars with airbags. The safest and most comfortable spot? Think 9 and 3, like the numbers on a clock. Here's why it matters. If you're gripping the wheel too high and your airbag deploys, it can force your arms upward and even into your face. At 9 and 3, your arms are lower, steadier, and better positioned to give you control in an emergency. Plus, it puts less strain on your shoulders and wrists, something that matters more than ever as we get older. And speaking of strain, have you ever noticed that long drives can leave your hands feeling stiff or numb? That's your body letting you know it's time for a little adjustment. Take a moment before you drive to roll your wrists, stretch your fingers, and give your arms a gentle shake. It gets the blood flowing and helps you maintain a better grip. Also, be mindful of how tightly you're holding the wheel. A gentle but firm grip is all you need, no need to strangle it. White knuckles usually mean tension, and tension can slow your reaction time. Breathe deeply, relax your shoulders, and let your hands settle into that 9 and 3 position with confidence. You're not just driving, you're steering your own sense of control and freedom. Now, while we're in the seat and everything's adjusted, let's not forget one more thing that often gets ignored: the dashboard warning lights. We see them come on, and if the car's still running fine, we think, it can wait. But as we age, waiting isn't always our best friend, especially when it comes to maintenance. A small issue today could become a breakdown tomorrow, and nobody wants to be stuck on the side of the road, especially not in the middle of traffic or during bad weather. So take a moment every time you start the car to scan your dashboard. If anything is blinking or glowing in red or yellow, don't brush it off. Even if you don't know what it means, make a note to ask a mechanic or a family member, and keep your maintenance schedule visible. Maybe a little sticky note on the visor or a reminder on the fridge. Oil changes, brake checks, tire rotations. These small acts of care aren't just for the car. They're for you. They're about making sure your vehicle is just as ready for the road as you are. Now, I want to talk to you heart to heart, because at this stage of life, driving isn't just about going places. It's about keeping your freedom. It's the ability to visit an old friend, run your own errands, or take a quiet drive through the neighborhood just to clear your mind. And every one of these small safety checks we've been talking about is like giving a gift to your future self. A little assurance, a little peace of mind, a little extra time out there enjoying life on your own terms. You've probably known someone who gave up driving before they were truly ready. Not because they couldn't do it, but because no one showed them how to adjust their habits. But look at you, you're here watching this video, learning, adapting, staying sharp. That says something powerful about who you are. You're not just getting older, you're growing wiser, more prepared, more in tune with what really matters. So let's take a moment to pull it all together. Every time you get ready to drive, you check in with yourself, how you're feeling, your focus, your energy. You clean your glasses and your mirrors, adjust your seat, wear the right shoes, and take control of your space inside the car. You breathe, you relax your hands on the wheel, and you pay attention to those little lights that try to get your attention. These aren't just steps in a routine, they're acts of self-respect. You're telling yourself, I matter, my safety matters, and I'm going to keep doing what I love, the smart way. Now, if this message has resonated with you, even just one of these tips, take a second to share it. Share it with a friend, a sibling, your spouse. Maybe you know someone in their 70s or 80s who still drives but hasn't thought about these little changes. This video could help them feel more confident, more in control, and less anxious about being behind the wheel. And if you've got a moment, leave a comment below and tell us. What's something you do before driving that helps you feel safe? You might inspire someone else. You might even help save a life. If you found this helpful, go ahead and tap that like button. It lets us know that these kinds of topics matter to you. And if you want more practical tips like this, from health to independence to feeling your best at every age, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We're building a community of wise, strong, and inspired people who aren't slowing down. They're just getting started in a whole new chapter of life. You've come a long way, and you've got so much more road ahead. Here's to staying safe, feeling strong, and driving forward on your own terms.